Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Inkaholic here, bringing you a little revised tutorial on the restaurant that I have downstairs in my house. The guy that actually came up with the design contacted me, wanted me to make a video showing the changes that I've made to his design. He did like them very much, so here it is. This is going to be my little revised tutorial on his design for a 3-in-1 cooker and delivery system. See how fast they come down? Use ice. Ice under the water works every single time. Here we are in a creative world now. I've already made a base with a bed and go ahead and knocked out the trough to where the stuff's going to fly down at. Just to give me an idea of where I was going to build this thing, and hindsight's 2020. I should have actually built this out just a little bit further, but it'll be okay. 2 blocks here. This is going to be the killing station. So let's go ahead and name it first. Blocks like so, with a dispenser on top like that, and a bucket of lava inside of it. The dispensers now, they dispense lava or water and then suck it right back up, so it's never ending. So 2 blocks deep, we're going to put a sticky piston with a block on top. Not redstone. There we go. And there you go. That's that. Behind the dispenser, we're going to wire it in now. So what we're going to do is put a block with redstone, and we're going to put a little circle of repeaters here. Got one here facing into the block, one there, and one there, and one there. And that's going to be on 4 ticks, 4 ticks, and 4 ticks. And basically what that is, it's going to be a little shut-off timer to suck it back up. So we're going to go ahead and wire this up with some redstone now in the corners. There we go. And trail this out to the side here and give it a test run, see how it works. Need a button. Get a button here. And place the button. And there you go. Okay. Next to it, you want to dig a hole. This is going to be powering the piston. Leave 1 block. Put some redstone on it, redstone torch beside it, redstone torch right up here, and we're going to dig out some more to get access to the repeater, or not the repeater, the piston, I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm going to be laying down some repeaters. There we go. I just dug all this out just to give you a better view. I'm going to put a repeater right here, and another one there, and then spin around and point one in the other direction, and we're going to tie these in with some redstone leading to the piston like so. And these 2 repeaters here are going to be on 4 ticks, and this one is going to be on 3. There we go. Now all we got to do now is block this back up. There we go. Okay. After you get it all blocked back up, I'm going to take it outside here and run a test run and see how the piston and the dispenser work together in sync. So we're just going to go ahead and place a, what the hell did I do with my buttons again? There. Place the button. I'll run some redstone over here real quick. There we go. That works perfectly. Okay. So now that we've established that the killing grounds work, let's go ahead and work on the breeding floors. And what you're going to do is you're going to build a platform off the top of the dispenser area. Go 1 more high, making a square pad with the hole in the center. And then you want to place blocks in the corners. And you can go ahead and fill up the front because there's just 3 troughs that we're going to be building. These are going to be the entrances to the exits, I should say, of the water troughs. So you want to come out 8 blocks, or actually 9 for the wall if you want to use the one there for the wall. And I noticed that I'm kind of even with my house there. That's why I was looking down at it. And I'm thinking ahead in the future that it's going to kind of screw me with the wiring. So, but I do fix it. I moved the house back a little bit, but it's when you build this, you want to build it. The whole purpose is to build it far enough away that you're not having to hear the animals while you're in the house, but yet still close enough to do all the work too. So, anyways, your 3 water troughs built just like so, and like I said, 8 blocks so that the water stops just as it gets to the hole. You don't want water pouring into the hole. And there you go. That's what that should look like. Once we got that, now we're going to start on each pin here where we're going to keep the animals. This is going to be the piston that will operate the little trap door to drop the animals in. So 1 block with a piston on top, and then we're going to build a 2-block high wall all the way around the place. Now, kind of skipped ahead a little bit here, and so we've got a lot to talk about, but this is basically what it's going to look like. The stone flooring is the piston, and then I put grass in there as well. It doesn't really matter how big you make these rooms. I'm just limited on what I had at the time, so it doesn't really matter. Now we're going to vertical wire the pistons to open and close. Basically, if you haven't seen vertical wiring, it's just straight up and down with redstone torches. So as you can see, there's a block attached to the back. Put a stone there and it powers it. One there unpowers it. Put one there and it powers it again. And you continue all the way down. And it's a great way. It saves on redstone and having to do some crazy little spiral staircase thing on the bobber. So get all these wired up here to the ground floor for right now. We'll come back to them in just a little while. All right, so we got them all vertical wired and got all the pistons activated. So now what's going to happen is if we deactivate it, it will open them up. So now we're going to work back on the changes that I've made, and I've made a loop flusher, I guess is what you want to call it. Basically what I've got is 2 pistons in the front and 1 off to the side. The 2 off the front here are going to allow access for the water and the loop to go down the icy path back into the house. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back in here and we're going to spin around and we're going to put 2 sticky pistons down. I'm just trying to make sure I get my bearings right. Sticky piston right there and 1 on top. There we go. And then put blocks in front of those. There we go. That way when they're powered, it closes that off. And I'm going to put a block behind here. And we are going to lay some, let's not put a repeater. We need to put redstone on top of that. That way it'll power the block and the piston. So everything's powered. Both of them are powered. So trail this out toward the house, and I've already got a switch here powered up so that I can tie it into it. Put a repeater right here just to carry on the current, and there you go. Okay, so we got those powered up, and then over here what we're going to do is we're going to build a little spot to put water. So knock out these blocks, knock that one out right there, fill it with water. And for the time being, we'll knock this block out. And we're going to put a piston, not right there. We need to move that. It's too close. Put that back one. There we go. So when it activates, it will keep the water closed. And when it gets turned off, it pulls back and the water will flow into the icy trough that we made. We'll put a repeater right back here. And run some redstone. And tap this right into what we have over here. Oops. There we go. Get rid of that. Okay, now everything's powered, and theoretically it's closed so that the animals will drop and you'll be able to activate the piston. Theoretically, you kill the power to them and it pulls them back, which allows the water to flow down off the side and onto the icy trail, which brings it all the way back to the house. Voila, there you go. So that's that. Now what we need to do is we need to hit the F3 button to get the Y coordinate, which in my case is 64 right now. And remember that number because that's the number that you need to dig down the vertical wiring to all 3 of those pistons that you vertical wired earlier. Because we got to do a lot of digging underground to get all that wiring up to the wall inside the house. So right beside it, you want to dig down to level 64. There we go. And like I said, every other block you want to knock out and place a torch down. There you go. Heard it activate. Okay. So sometimes it doesn't always work out. Like in this case here, it's on right now, and the way I have the very last redstone torch there is wrong, and I'll show you in a minute what I mean. But basically what we're going to do is knock out a little pathway toward the direction of your house and the other wiring and so on and so forth. So you're going to have like a little mini room of redstone wiring going on down there. Alright, so here we are, and I noticed that there's nothing I could do, so what we're going to do is we're going to place a block beside it and get rid of this torch, but place it on the side of this one, which will send power above it, but allow me to do something with the input of there. So let me knock this block back out just so you can see what I'm talking about. We're going to put a repeater there, some redstone on here, and need to knock out the ceiling. Okay. So like I said, repeater and redstone, bring it on down, and for shits and giggles, we'll see there, light it up, torch went off, otherwise it stays on. Okay, so we'll get that wired up, bring it toward the wall. Okay, now I had to change the way I vertical wired this one. Just because of space. I was kind of screwed on space, but like I said, it's going to be different for everybody's situation. This just happened to be in this tutorial. This is how I had to have it wired up. I got the switch with the repeater to the block to the torch, which has got that one turned off, that one on, off, blah, 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 all the way up until I got it powered on. So, and that little spot of red stone, that isn't what activates it, but that will be used later on. So just keep in mind, that doesn't have to be on there right now, but we will be using it later on. Okay, now let's see, where were we here? We got this one wired up. Now we need to work on the second switch. Now I have all these switches side by side, which is kind of hard when you're doing redstone because the redstone likes to activate with one another when you have it side by side. So I had to use a lot of repeaters for the second switch, which will control the very far room away from the house. So we're going to go ahead and vertical wire this one down to the ground, every other block. And I'm about to make the same mistake I did with the first one there. Torch there, torch there, torch there, but we're going to end up moving that one too, just like I did before. Should have a torch off to the side. So dig all this out so that you're able to turn. And keep in mind, when you are all done with this, that you want to basically put candles all in and out throughout this thing, just so that you don't have any mobs spawning in this little cave here. See how I have this wired up? This is completely wrong. I don't know what I was doing. The repeater is not going to turn on or off the power of the redstone torch. You actually have to have the power feeding into a block. So I just want to get this wired up. Here's the second switch, which is going to control that far room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some blocks down and go ahead and extend it past all this stuff. That should be good. And then what I'm going to do is go up here and I'm going to lay repeaters down, because the repeaters are good about sending current in one direction only. You know, they only send it straight forward. They don't branch off to the side or anything like that. So all the way down to the end except for one. We'll put some redstone down, connect it all, and that one is good to go, besides needing to fix it down there at the end with the torch off to the side. We probably need to put a repeater in here too as well. Carry the current. There we go. Okay, so back to the problem at hand. Like I said, this is not going to do anything. So what we're going to have to do is dig this out so you can see, and we're going to get rid of this and the repeater and the redstone. We're going to dig it out one more. So in case you were having problems with your vertical wiring, this is a fix for it right here. Oh, I do love living in the city. I can hear the fire trucks driving by the house. Just what I want to hear when I'm doing a commentary. Let me dig out some of the roof here so I can get up there. And repeater there. There we go. I heard it click that time. So we're good to go there. Alright, now what we're going to do is wire up this last switch, which will control the back pin, which, because we have the repeaters there, all we've got to do now is just run redstone. There's no need for a whole row of repeaters or anything like that. So just turn this right over here and right up to the switch. There you go. Okay, so what we got here is the doors open. But we don't want that. We want it closed all the time until we hit the button. So what you got to do is put an inverter, which is basically just going to be your block with a torch. So it's sending power until I hit this button, which will inadvertently open it. So we'll use a switch right now for just a time being. Now the original design used buttons. But I noticed that a lot of people were commenting that the door wasn't staying open long enough to let the animals drop. So I added a water flush system, which in turn lets you use the buttons, and it works out quite nicely. So we'll see that a little later in the video. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these switches too, by the way. So that's the cooker switch. I've moved the flush switch here. So that is the loot flusher. It's on a switch, not a button. And the 3 buttons are for the 3 pins, and then the 1 button on the left there is for the cooker. So take a good look at how I got this wired up. Basically just moved it over and used the wiring from before to wire up the cooker part. So now here we are in the pen. I knocked out one of the walls just so I could show you what I was going to do. This is going to be for the chickens. Chickens are going to be in here. Sorry about the noise if the animals are bothering you, but I wanted to test it out just to make sure it was working. And this is me adding the, like I said, the little flushing system here. Basically all I'm going to do is just put a piston down with some water behind it, that when I hit that button to open up the trap door, it also opens up another piston to allow water to flush the animals toward the hole, but not all the way to the hole. There's a few empty spots that the animals will still be able to stand, because you don't want to flush them all out at once. You want to leave a couple extra animals in there to breed and continue on the process, because Lord knows if you do empty this, it's going to be a pain in the ass to get more animals back in there. So you'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. So put a little block like so, just so that you can put some water in there. And when it opens up, what you'll have is, see, there's just a few empty blocks there for the animals to stand, but that stone block will be opened up for the animals to fall down through. So this increases your chances of getting animals to the cooker every time you hit the button, basically is what that boils down to. So we're going to vertical wire this thing here and simply just tap it right in over there to the vertical wiring of the other piston, because we want them to both activate at the same time. So not too hard. Simple yet effective changes that I've made. Don't even ask me what I'm looking at. I don't even know what I'm doing. I just like something must have gathered my attention. Oh, that's what it was. I was screwing up. I need to do this. It's a constant mistake I make. So, anyways, put some redstone right there behind it. Trail this out. And all we got to do is just tap it right into this other torch right here. There you go. So what we got now is the water's on, but the door's shut. So what we need to do is invert the signal here. which will turn the water off with the door shut. So place a block there, torch here. There you go. So now what we got is kill the power, so the door's open, water's on, animals are flushed down. There you go. Okay, now for the pigs and the cows, we're going to share a water with them. So place blocks here in the corners of the pens, and you're going to go up 4 high, and then you're going to come down and you're going to knock the middle 2 out. There you go. And jump down here and look up and place the sticky piston. Put one on the other side. There you go. And we're going to come back here and place a block on the side of the piston, the back side of the piston, which now happens to be flush level with the back wall, which we'll be able to run the redstone on. Place a block right here so you could step up to it. There you go. And back to what I was saying before, see this one I didn't have any on there. I'm going to put some redstone dust on top of that stone, which is now lit up. So we're going to step this up the wall here, like so, and just follow this all the way around with redstone to power up the piston. Simple enough, not very hard, but effective. There we go. Same thing with the other side. Place a block down here to step it up. Put redstone on top. Follow it all the way down. There you go. And so now, in theory, that when we kill the power, it's going to pull up these pistons, which will allow this water right here to flow in. So let's just kill it right here, just to show you. And it leaves a few dry spots just in case the animals do stop. So there we go, and I'll show you the other one here. Kill the power there, and that one flows in. So, and it's real quick. The animals, you know, do have a fighting chance to stay in there. They don't all go to the hole, but I think we're ready to try this thing out. So what we got is the animals loaded up. I'm going to load a cow up first. And I think I already had some random chickens in there. There we go. Cow just fell in the hole. So now the middle button is for the pigs. Give that a whirl. And you can see all the pigs kind of rushing toward the hole there. And there went a pig. And so it's time to run down here and hit the cooker. And listen carefully. Ah, the sound of sweet death. Once you, if you can hear them, if you can, that's good, because you'll know when they're dead, and you can hit the switch to flush the loop. And now that we've added ice, it just flies right down. So let's see what we got here. Got chicken, pork chops, steak, and hide. And there you go. 3-in-1 animal cooker. Super efficient in the house. This has been ElQuieroNacho. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, because I can't even say it. And we're out. Later.